Hello, beautiful soul. My name is Mara, and I welcome you to today's reading. We're going to be taking a look at what your next step should be, and the topic of this reading won in the poll that I put out. So thank you so much to everybody who voted. Stay tuned for next month's poll. We do them every month. I've got 3 different crystals for you to choose from, and as I hold these up to the camera, I'll be playing a sound for those of you that like to choose your reading clairaudiently. So let's go ahead and jump into the reading selection. All right, if you need more time, you can go down to the description box and hit the reading selection timestamp. We're going to begin with reading number 1, but all 3 readings will be timestamped in the description box as well. So go ahead and find your timestamp, and I'll see you there. Hello, group number 1. Welcome to your reading. Let's go ahead and get into it, find out what your next step should be. So we are going to explore what the actual steps should be, but we also are going to look at why it's important, because I think that that's going to be good to know. So starting with some oracle, and then we will move into some tarot to clarify, as per usual. What is the next step that you should take? Okay, we have milk and honey and the fates on the bottom of the deck. So I definitely feel like right now you're supposed to be focusing on the sweet side of life. I think that your next step would be to sweeten your surroundings. So making things more beautiful in your life, focusing on the really pleasant side of your living experience. I think that leaning more into your beauty routine, into your self-care, and changing your perspective about your life to kind of romanticize things. I definitely feel like sweetening things up is what you need to be focusing on. And with that, with the fates being on the bottom of the deck, I just kind of feel like you doing this prep work is part of a bigger plan. It's part of something that is going to bring you more of this. So you getting in alignment with this energy of focusing on your beauty. I'm seeing somebody doing like glamour or beauty magic in front of a mirror. So I just feel like, it doesn't necessarily have to be just that, but just, focusing on your beauty, and whether that's your external beauty, how you look on the outside, or your internal beauty, how you think about yourself, how you feel about yourself. And remember that internal beauty can also kind of represent what you're feeding yourself, what you're fueling this vessel with, your body with. So I just feel like you're meant to be sweetening things up right now. So why is this important? Beyond it just, giving you something else, because I feel like whatever this prep work is, it's coming for a reason, because I think that something bigger and more beautiful is entering your life. And if you don't get into this space where you're very in alignment with the beautiful side of your life, or the side of yourself, then I feel like it'll be hard to recognize, or it'll totally pass you by, and the universe won't be able to give it to you because you're not feeling that way internally. Remember that life is kind of a reflection of what you've got going on inside. So why is this important? Yes, we have Treasure Island, and on the bottom of the deck is Blessed. Exactly what I was saying. I feel like there is this really beautiful blessing coming your way. There is this, experience of you getting some kind of treasure. It's you receiving some kind of gift. So you definitely want to be prepared for that. Let's get into some tarot to get some clarification. Yeah. A wish come true moment. You're definitely getting something that you've been asking for. And this next step is about you getting ready for that. Wow. Lots of improving energy. You getting the things that you really want for yourself. I feel like, again, this is a blessing that the universe has sent you. Sorry, I keep bumping the camera. This is a blessing that the universe is sending your way. It's like you have wished and wished for this moment. You have the Star and the Nine of Cups coming out. And for those of you that don't read tarot, both of these cards are big indicators of a blessing coming your way, of a wish come true. And this one is all about bringing your subconscious desires to the forefront. And this one is all about a healing experience with your blessings. And so I feel, I mean, they're both deeper than that, but in regards to your reading right now, I definitely feel like this experience of you receiving the finer things in life and prepping yourself to get to that point where you're ready to accept those things is such a healing experience for you. You might have some current blocks around the way that you perceive the finer things. How do you feel about receiving large sums of money? How do you feel about receiving more beauty or getting to the physical, like if you're on a weight loss journey, how do you feel about fitting into the body that you really perceive as like your top beautiful self? I think you should love yourself in all stages, but how do those feelings or what feelings come up when you think about those things? Because I feel like there might be some limiting beliefs or some resistance there that you may need to address. And that work, that prep work of getting yourself into the state of like allowing these things to come is going to be extremely important in the grand scheme of it. Because even though you're going to be very successful, you may have a hard time accepting it. You may have a hard time welcoming in all of these blessings. So this next step that you're taking of you really leaning into romanticizing yourself and your life, it's so important because you want to feel connected to that part of your life. You want to feel connected to that beautiful, luxurious space that you're holding out for. I think that it's important that you keep persisting towards it, but you really do need to feel some things along the way. Don't hold back and say, well, I need to focus on everything beautiful, so my shadow self isn't beautiful. No, no, no. That'll push you further away. You definitely need to take time to really embrace your shadow self, to embrace those limiting beliefs that come with you welcoming in this really beautiful and successful energy. I think that you have a lot of success heading towards you, and it's just a matter of you really, climbing on the turtle's back and saying, I'm ready for this, or swimming out to this and really acknowledging the treasure here. Water can often symbolize your intuitive or your intuition and your subconscious. So it may be that you need to dive through those things before you get to the treasure. And look at all those little hearts and stars. I just feel like whatever this treasure is, it's something that is very dear to you. It's something that is very it is truly a wish come true moment. It's something that you have brought forward from the depths of your mind. It's something that you have specifically asked the universe for, and the universe is delivering. It is truly a blessing. So for you, pile number one, your next step is really going to be all about sweetening your life up, sweetening up your life, bringing the old into the new, bringing the dusty into a more cleaner space, clean things up, get into the receiving mode of your blessings to come. If you know what it is, then start doing practical things in your life to set the stage for those things. And if you don't know what it is, then that's okay. You don't need to worry about that. Just worry about, well, not worry, but like focus on bringing your attention to the beautiful sides of yourself and your life, because that's where you're going to find success. So if you found this reading to be helpful and insightful and you like the way that I read tarot, then please consider giving this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I do post a weekly pick a card reading, and if you did vote on today's reading, thank you so much. I really do appreciate your input and I love you so much. I wish you all the best in receiving your dreams. Blessed be. Hello, group number 2. Welcome to your reading. Let's go ahead and see what your next step should be. We're going to start with some oracle. We are going to take a look at what the next step should be, but we're also going to explore why it's so important that you take that step. So let's see, what should your next step be? Oh my god, can I have it? Okay, we've got the Observer and Clean It Up on the bottom of the deck. So I definitely feel like obviously there is some cleaning up to do. There is some organizing that I feel like you need to do in your life. I also feel like with this card that you are meant to be paying attention to your mind, paying attention to the world around you, and getting into a much more mindful state. I just feel like there's a little bit of a chaotic energy going on, like maybe you're feeling very overwhelmed and stressed out. And the way through all of that is not to, lay the hammer down and whatever the heck the saying is and like make your voice heard and like use and exert your will. I think that it's more so about you just taking a step back and observing and saying, okay, what do I need to let go of? What do I need to kind of remove from my life? Yeah, and I feel that even more so with yin being underneath that. It's like, it's not about you exerting a bunch of energy to clean up your reality. It's more so about you just taking a moment and saying, I haven't been connected to my life. I haven't been an active participant maybe in a lot of what's going on. So let me take a step back and see, what do I even want to invest my energy in? What do I even want to focus on? So, I mean, I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory as to like why that's so important, but let's explore if there's anything else. So why is this so important that you take this step? All that glitters in between worlds. So I definitely feel like the things that you're going after in your life, either they're very flashy and materialistic, and that's totally fine in itself, but the long-term stability that you're seeking, the long-term reward that you're looking for, it may not be there in what specifically you're going after. So you may need to have that observing or that moment of observation before you can really welcome in the actual stability and the actual reward and the wishes that come true, like those kinds of experiences. With the Between Worlds card, I just kind of feel like there's this moment where you haven't quite entered the next cycle of your life, and right now this reading has come to you for a reason, so that while you're in that in-between space, before you really get into this next chapter where things are a little bit more molded into or set in stone. Nothing's really fully set in stone, but things will be further along, for more developed. And so before you get to that space, it's going to be important for you to know, actually, what am I actually asking for? What do I actually want? What kind of desires do I really want in my life? Because I feel like the universe wants you to know, you are worthy. You are worthy of receiving all of the glittery, wonderful, beautiful, materialistic things that you really want. But if you don't take the time to recognize, like, okay, what makes sense for me and what is just a dream that old me used to have, or that society may have pressured me into having, or that my parents or my siblings or my somewhere in my family or my friends, whoever it is, whatever it is, what dreams are pushed onto me and what dreams do I want for myself? So let's clarify with some tarot. Yeah. So I feel like this is more and more looking like it's going to be about work and about the more physical side of life. It doesn't necessarily have to be work in general, but I think that whatever you're physically working on, whether it be an income or not, that needs to be addressed. It looks like you've got some changes going on, maybe a little bit of that chaotic energy that I was feeling, where you really just need to slow down in the middle of this. Like, girl, get off that tower. It's coming down regardless. You need to get off of it, move to the side, and let it crumble down around you so that you can start to rebuild the more purposeful things in life. Because you've got a lot of indicators of financial abundance coming in, but you're really going to have to put in the work. And I do see here with the Eight of Pentacles that you're going to have to be the one to say, okay, I watched all of this happen. I didn't build all of those desires from scratch. And what I did, it didn't align with my authenticity at this point in my life. And recognizing that and honoring that is totally okay. It's actually more than okay, and it's beautiful that you're able to do that. So I just feel like while you're in that in-between space, again, there's this really important message of putting in the work and dedicating your love and your time and your energy into the things that you really want to see for yourself. And the thing about the Eight of Pentacles is that it does often indicate that there is going to be a period where you're working without recognition. You're working on something before it comes about and you get recognized. And so I feel like this is about you honing in on your skills. And if you don't take the time to observe and really say, okay, what is it that I want to work on? What is it that I want to bring into my life? What dreams and desires do I want to focus on? And what do I need to let go of? How can I clean things up? Then I feel like you're going to really struggle in this moment, because you may be looking and wondering, well, why hasn't it come yet? Why don't I have more reward yet? But if you have this moment of realization that what you want is going to take time, and I do see that reaffirmed with the Knight of Pentacles, then I feel like no matter how long it's taking, maybe not no matter, but like, even if it takes a while, I feel like it won't bother you that much, because you're dedicated to the path, because you can see your vision and you know that it's for you. You feel confident that what you're going after isn't for nothing. It's for the fact that you want it and you know that you're worthy of it. And I will be clear, I do see you receiving the thing that you want. I do see you having more than enough. You're ultimately working towards feeling more grounded and having more physical reward, whether that's monetary, whether that's more love in your life. It may be that you're vacationing more and you're going to travel more. Whatever it is, it's there for you. It's definitely there in your path, but you have to get out of your own way and not invest your time and energy into this chaotic energy. Get out of your own way, start observing and clean things up so that you can feel purposeful about the work that you're doing. Wow, love this for you. I think that you're going to do amazing, and I truly, truly feel that you are going to receive more than enough, and it'll feel good for you. All right, if you found this reading to be helpful and insightful and you like the way that I read, then please consider giving this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I do post a weekly pick a card reading, and if you did vote on today's reading, thank you so much. I really do appreciate you and your input. And again, I do post a poll once a month, so if you are interested in putting in your own thoughts and opinions into my readings, then definitely stay tuned for that. I love you so much. I wish you all the best. Blessed be. Hello, group number 3. Welcome to your reading. Let's go ahead and see what your next step should be. And after we find out what the step should be, we're going to look at why it's so important that you take that next step. All right. So what should your next step be? Okay, we have Loyal Heart, sorry, I couldn't read it over my camera, and Observer on the bottom of the deck. Okay, I definitely feel like you are meant to be dedicating a lot of compassion and love into something. Let's go ahead and see why this is going to be so important, because I'm very curious, like, what is it that you're needing to invest in? To be fair, I definitely, this is going to be very specific, and I normally don't get so specific within my pick a card readings, because it's a general reading. So please take what resonates and leave the rest. If this doesn't resonate, I would say go pick a card, or pick a pile that's not this one. All right. I am feeling 100% that this is about reconciliation. This is about you investing a lot of energy into coming into a better space with a partner. This doesn't feel like a work situation. It doesn't feel like a friendship. It feels like a romantic love, and it feels very much like you are meant to be devoting a lot more loyalty and a lot more trust into the relationship or into reconciling with somebody. I feel like there's a need to take a step back and just be a little bit more fair, be a little bit more balanced. Like, where are you sacrificing that you need to actually be asking for things? Where are you asking for things where you can actually compromise and just kind of readjust the needs in the situation? Now, I'm definitely 100% not saying that if you are asking for literally the bare minimum that you shouldn't and that you're not worthy of it. And even if you're asking for a lot, that is okay, but where can you kind of meet this person in the middle? Because I think that there's just either a miscommunication or a misunderstanding of sorts, and it looks like it can be sorted out through you both approaching this in a more co-creative way. And you do just so you know, you have co-creative or co-create on the bottom of the deck. Underneath that, you have regeneration. Yeah. Yes. This is definitely about you reconciling and getting into a much better space with your partner. Okay. You know, it could be a friendship. I just feel like there's so much in this that feels so incredibly like intimate that it's not very likely that it's a friend, but I mean, if that's how you and your friends are with each other, then that's how you and your friends are with each other. All right, let's get some tarot going here. Yeah. More support, more more allowance in the relationship. I do feel like you guys are meant to have this moment where, things kind of fell off, things kind of fell apart a little bit, and building it back together is supposed to make you guys a stronger team. It's supposed to make you both more invested in the relationship. I do feel like you both want to support each other, that you both want to see success with one another, but there's this energy of like controlling the way that certain things have ended, and especially, I just saw death underneath that. The way that things have transpired in the past, I think that there's this wall up now because it's like, well, I have to act this way now because I received this in the past. I have to do this now because of this XYZ situation that happened in the past. And I just feel like you need to acknowledge that things have changed and the situation is not the same anymore. And from there, I definitely feel like things will improve. This is definitely a very straightforward reading, of just like, you just need to buckle in, stay invested, apply more love, compassion, and devotion into the relationship, and also ask for those things, because it's definitely not all on you. This is a teamwork type of situation, and if you're feeling like it's all on you, then that needs to be discussed. There needs to be an open conversation being had about those things. Because remember, this is about you guys being fair with one another. It's about you guys fighting fairly, arguing fairly. It can't just be like, well, you did this and now I'm this way, or you made me feel this way and now this and this and this. It's like, there is reconciliation, but you have to be open and honest and vulnerable with one another and show each other that you can support. You can be there to really listen and hear what the other is saying. So your next step is going to be reconciliation, baby. I definitely just feel like it's there for you. It's so straightforward, and this is the shortest reading in my pick a card today. But it's so matter of fact. And I think that for those of you that needed to hear this, you know that this is the next step. So don't be afraid to ask for what you need. Don't be afraid to listen to what your partner needs. You both deserve to be heard. You both deserve to have that love and desire be supported and awakened. So if you found this reading to be helpful and insightful and you like the way that I read, then please consider giving this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I do post a weekly pick a card reading, and if you voted on today's reading, then thank you so much for voting. I do appreciate and I love your input. So stay tuned for next month's poll. We will be doing that again. I love you guys so much. I wish you all the best. Blessed be.